Google tries to upstage Microsoft ahead of its Reinventing Productivity with AI event, but it still doesn't have a product to show. While Microsoft races ahead with ChatGPT-like features already integrated into Bing, Edge, and now Windows 11. So earlier this week, Google announced new generative AI features coming to Google Workspace. So what Google means by that is really creating content like short pieces of text, maybe emails or blog posts, or maybe a list of ideas for some project that you're working on, for instance. Just some kind of content that you can add to your document in draft format that you can then perfect and modify. Now, Google is going to add this to Google Workspace, and we know that Microsoft has already been working on this for the Office suite of applications, and that's all set to be added to Office coming in the next couple of months, maybe even later this month or April. The strange thing about all of this is, if you remember that Google had this disastrous presentation back in, I think, late January or early February, where they did various demonstrations and they didn't really go according to plan, and then Microsoft came along and basically showed something that was much more impressive out of the gate. Now, it's all a little bit of a game that's playing out this week, because on Thursday Microsoft has its Reinventing Productivity with AI event, and Google has kind of stepped up to try and get ahead of Microsoft and are basically saying in advance of Microsoft's event that it's going to add all of these features to Google Workspace. Now, of course, we don't know exactly what Microsoft is going to announce on Thursday, but I suspect it'll be more detail about how AI is going to fit into its Office and Microsoft 365 line of products and applications. So while Google was able to announce all of this a couple of days in advance of Microsoft this week, so Microsoft already has a lot of the features that Google is already talking about in some of its products. Of course, we've talked quite a lot on this channel about Bing Prometheus, so that's the ChatGPT integration into its Bing search engine. Microsoft just released earlier this week the latest version of its Edge browser, so that's a version 111, and that now has generative AI built into the sidebar, so you can use it to compose emails and, short pieces of text. And while ChatGPT isn't fully integrated into the search experience in Windows 11 just at the moment, it's kind of integrated with a chat button in the search flyout, which allows you to jump straight to a chat search from within Windows if that's what you want to do. Google also announced this week that it's going to be increasing the price for Google Workspace. So I guess somebody's got to pay for all this AI development. So a business starter subscription is going from $6 to $7.20 per user, and business standard is going from $12 up to $14.40. And business plus is going from $18 up to $21.60. So fairly significant increases there across the board. So search is obviously a big talking point right now, and this week Microsoft released for everybody the Moment 2 update if you're on Windows 11 22H2. Now, the biggest update in this release is that we now have a typable search box on the taskbar. So if you have a look here over on the taskbar, we've now got this elongated search, so I can actually type directly into this. So for instance, I don't know, I want to look for our audience survey from this year. You can see that that's now come up, and we've got the audience survey folder and a couple of other options. If I switch this to work, you can see that I'm logged into BWW, that's my work account. So I can type directly into the search box here. So if I search, for instance, for audience survey, and I'm searching my work account here, you can see it says BWW up at the top there, but I can switch it to specifically look for work documents in Microsoft 365. And lots of people don't really know that this exists inside Windows. It's not actually very discoverable. You can add different accounts to Windows, a work or school account, and you can then switch between them in terms of what it is that you're looking for. So I can switch to my personal account that I've all got attached to Windows here. But I'm using my current work account here, and you can see here that we have basically the results that are from Microsoft 365. Now, there's a couple of things that you may notice about this search experience. So you've got the longer search box now. It's typable, which I think is great. you've got this kind of notebook and briefcase icon at the bottom, this kind of cartoonish icon, which shows me basically that if I search here now, I'm going to be searching a work and school account. Of course, as I said before, I can change that, so I can set that back to my personal email, and then I can say, what are the top 10 tech sites? And you can see I've got various options here to search the things in chat, and it will take me straight there, and you can see how that all works. So it's kind of integrated into Windows 11, but not fully at this stage. You don't see these chat results in the search flyout itself at the moment. So I'd love to know what you think about this new updated search dialog. Now, to be honest, I don't really like the way that it looks on the search bar. I think, these icons, I know that you can still change this search dialog, so you can go back to the icon if you just want to get rid of this typable search box if you want. So it can all be changed, but this is the default experience now, and it's all starting to look a bit like a Fisher-Price toy or a cartoon. It reminds me a little bit of Windows XP. So that elegance that we had in the original release of Windows 11, if you like, has been lost a little bit in this update, in my opinion. Now, this is all subjective, of course, and I don't believe this is the design endgame. I don't think search is going to be here for very long. I think when Microsoft releases Windows 12, which is reportedly going to drop next year, I don't believe that the search box is going to be on the taskbar in this location anymore. And I mentioned earlier that all of this ChatGPT-like stuff from Bing is now integrated into Edge. So in the Edge sidebar, if you come up here, you see here I can also either just have that chat experience, I can ask it anything that I like, and we've got these generative features. I could ask it to write a list of ideas for a YouTube video about Windows 10. Let's see what it comes up with. That should just take a few seconds. And there you go, a list of ideas for a YouTube video there. So Microsoft is trying to make it really easy for you to access all of these new AI features, whether it's in the browser or whether it's in Bing, and of course going forwards in Microsoft.com. So I'm really fascinated to see what they're going to announce at the event this week, and of course I'm going to cover that in next week's video and give you an update on what was announced and what you can expect to see with all of these new features in terms of what Microsoft has planned for accelerating your productivity. If you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like. But I'm going to leave you with a video on the screen now where Stephen Rose and I discuss some of these new features that update to Windows 11 Moment 2 in a little bit more detail. And Stephen gives us a demo of the new iOS integration with Microsoft's Phone Link application. But that's it from me for this week, and I'll see you next time.